having some more conservative voices on your network, actually not making them pariahs, not directing your audience to feel that everything that Donald Trump does.
Panel. She is self-appointed. She knows everything. It's great to see her ego take this hit, but I think it will be short-lived.
It's amazing to listen to her talk about.
Sunny Hostin, a name synonymous with fiery debates and outspoken opinions, has once again found herself engulfed in controversy, and this time, it's on a scale that has everyone talking at this a daytime talk show where the co-hosts are known for their no-holds. Barred opinions often diving into sensitive topics with little restraint. Now imagine one of them, Sunny Hostin, making a statement so polarizing that it sparks a firestorm of backlash from both the public and prominent figures. A leak that's exactly what happened when she waded into the murky waters of religion, morality, and social justice, making remarks that many found not just provocative, but downright offensive. Let's unravel this drama and see how it all unfolded.
Sunny Hostin, one of the ladies on The View, she just came out. And I gotta give her credit for standing against massive unpopularity.
It all started during a heated segment on The View, where Sunny, in her characteristic blunt style, made some eyebrow-raising observations about Christianity and contemporary social issues. Sunny, whose parents were involved in the civil rights movement and who often speaks passionately about justice and equity, decided to take a swing at those opposing progressive ideals. Her statement that to oppose so-called woke values was ungodly and unchristian, a bold claim, no doubt, but one that immediately set off alarm bells for viewers and critics alike. The word woke, she argued, had been co-opted and turned into a slur by those who wanted to dismiss social justice efforts, according to her caring about others, whether it be the LGBTQ community, immigrants, or anyone facing oppression, was not just a moral imperative, but a divine one.
She just came out at a time when woke is at its absolute lowest. Nobody wants to claim that mantle anymore. She claimed that mantle. And she said to oppose woke, actually, is ungodly and unchristian.
But here's where things get sticky. While Sunny's words might have resonated with some, they struck a particularly harsh chord with others, especially those who view woke culture as a divisive force. Among her most vocal critics was Michael. Knowles, a conservative commentator known for his sharp rhetoric and pointed critiques, he wasted no time in tearing into Sunny's remarks, accusing her of twisting Christian teachings to fit her own agenda. Knowles didn't mince words, calling her statements a perverse misrepresentation of Christianity. He went even further, arguing that Sunny's comments undermined centuries of established Christian doctrine. And he wasn't. Alone in his outrage, his public thrown of Sunny amplified the debate, and soon everyone was weighing in.
Right, I don't think you could be called woke if you don't support abortion and so-called trans rights, right?
Michael Knowles, in his scathing response, laid out a historical argument pointing to early Christian teachings that, in his view, directly contradicted Sunny's claims. He cited scripture and church tradition to argue that Christianity has always maintained clear stances on issues like the sanctity of life and the immutability of biological gender. Knowles didn't stop there. He went as far as to accuse Sunny of cherry-picking religious principles to align with progressive ideologies. His critique was blistering, painting Sunny not just as misguided, but as someone actively distorting the faith for political gain. And if that wasn't enough, he threw in a jab about how Sunny, a talk show host, was attempting to rewrite moral teachings upheld by theologians and religious leaders over millennia.
And she says that if you oppose those things, you are ungodly and unchristian. Even those two words placed together. She is equating godliness with Christianity. So she's saying Christ is God. She's saying Christianity is the true religion. But if you want to really be a Christian, if you want to really be godly, you have to really be a Christian. And if you want to really be a Christian, you have to oppose non-negotiable tenets of Christianity.
The backlash didn't stop at NES. Sunny's comments opened a floodgate of criticism from viewers, religious figures, and even her own peers in the media. Many accused her of being out of touch, and some went so far as to call her remarks racist and sexist. The logic critics argued that by framing opposition to progressive values as inherently ungodly, Sunny was effectively dismissing the lived experiences and deeply held beliefs of countless people, particularly those in conservative or religious communities. For some, Her words felt like a personal attack, a dismissal of their faith and values simply because they didn't align with her own worldview.
But who knows better? 2,000 years of Christians, the succession of the popes and the bishops and the priests and Christians for millennia, or Sunny Hostin? No. I guess Sunny Hostin redefines what is Christian.
And let's not forget the internet, where reactions ranged from outrage to outright mockery. Social media users were quick to dissect her statements with hashtags like Sunny Hostin and woke Christianity trending for days. Memes flooded platforms, with some ridiculing her for what they saw as hypocrisy. While others expressed genuine anger at the implications of her remarks, religious leaders also chimed in, reminding their followers that faith isn't something to be weaponized in political. Debate Sunny, however, appeared undeterred, doubling down on her stance in subsequent episodes of The View.
How does she get there? I was with her when she equated godliness with Christianity, but then she seems to undermine both, because leftism is Christianity without Christ.
But here's where things take a turn. Some of Sunny's past statements began to resurface. Adding fuel to the fire, critics pointed out that this wasn't her first brush with controversy. Far from it. Over the years, Sunny has made a slew of remarks that have been labeled as divisive, including her infamous take, blaming certain voting demographics for political outcomes she disagreed with. In one instance, she sparked outrage by suggesting that non-old educated white women were voting against their own interests, a comment many saw as reductive and dismissive, and who can forget her claim that Donald Trump's presidency was a result of widespread cultural resentment. While Sunny often frames her views as rooted in justice and morality, her critics argue that her rhetoric frequently alienates and insults large swaths of people.
I think he's doing something a little bit more diabolical, if I'm being honest. Representative Andy Ogles, a Republican of Tennessee, on January 23rd, just 3 days after Trump was inaugurated, already proposed amending the 22nd Amendment to allow Trump to serve a third term.
What's particularly striking about this latest controversy is the sheer scale of the backlash. While Sunny has always been a polarizing figure, this time it feels different. The outrage isn't just coming from one political side, it's cutting. Across ideological lines, even some of Sunny's usual supporters have expressed discomfort with her comments, questioning whether she went too far by framing opposition to progressive ideals as inherently immoral. For many, the issue isn't about agreeing or disagreeing with her views. It's about the way to deliver them and the implications of equating faith with a specific set of political beliefs.
I think he doesn't want he's not going to say that J.D. Vance is a successor because he thinks he's his own successor.
But doesn't that mean that Obama can run also?
Well, you would think so because part of the resolution says no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times.
And yet, despite the mounting criticism, Sunny seems unfazed. On subsequent episodes of The View, she continued to defend her position, arguing that her statements were rooted in her own lived experience and upbringing. She pointed to her family's involvement in the civil rights movement as evidence of her commitment to justice and equality. But even this defense didn't sit well with everyone. Some accused her of using her background as a shield against legitimate criticism, while others questioned whether her personal experiences gave her the right to speak so authoritatively on matters of faith. What's clear is that this controversy has struck a nerve, tapping into deep divisions not just in American society, but within religious communities as well. Well, Sunny's comments have sparked a broader debate about the intersection of faith politics and social justice, raising questions about what it means to be godly in today's world. For her critics, Sunny's remarks are a reminder of the dangers of conflating religion with ideology. For her fans, they a call to action, a challenge to rethink what it means to care for one's neighbor.
And I've been criticizing them for 8 years for doing it, pointing out that it's not the job of the media to take sides.
But just when you thought the drama couldn't get any juicier, new developments suggest that Sunny's public controversies are only the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, she's facing personal challenges that could have even bigger implications. For her career, and public image rumors are swirling about her involvement in her husband's ongoing legal troubles, with some speculating that she may have played a role in covering up alleged crimes. Could this be the beginning of a larger unraveling? For Sunny Hostin, stay tuned, because the story is far from over. And just when you thought Sunny host professional, controversies couldn't get any messier. The spotlight has shifted from her public statements to her personal life, and let me tell you, it's a roller coaster. We're talking lawsuits, accusations, and swirling rumors that have sent shockwaves through both media and legal circles. If you thought the drama on The View was juicy, buckle up, because Sunny's personal challenges are turning out to be equally, if not more, traumatic.
Tell them to look at themselves very hard in the mirror and say, have we really not brought this on ourselves?
Let's dive in. Sunny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, a respected orthopedic surgeon, has found himself at the center of one of the largest legal cases in New York State's recent history. And we're not talking about a minor dispute here. This is a sprawling federal lawsuit involving nearly 200 defendants, including doctors, medical personnel, and healthcare providers, all accused of insurance fraud. The lawsuit launched by American Transit, a commercial auto insurance provider, alleges that Dr. Hostin knowingly engaged in fraudulent practices, including performing unnecessary surgeries and billing the company for exorbitant sums. The numbers are staggering. American Transit alleges fraud on a size of hundreds of millions of currency units over several years.
According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries.
Now here's where things get even murkier. While the lawsuit primarily targets Dr. Hahn's medical practice, Hostin Orthopedics rumors have started to circulate about Sunny's potential involvement. Could Sunny, with her sharp legal acumen and high-profile platform, have played a role in helping her husband navigate or cover up these alleged activities? Some are speculating that her legal expertise might have been used to guide her husband on how to sidestep regulation, or worse, to actively shield him from scrutiny.
So we know Sunny Hostin and her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, are preparing for a legal battle to fight accusations that he committed federal insurance.
These whispers have only grown louder with the revelation that Sunny has been fiercely vocal in defending her husband. In public statements, she has slammed American Transit, calling the lawsuit baseless and accusing the company of targeting her husband as part of a smear campaign. She's claimed that the insurer is trying to use her celebrity status to poison public opinion against her family. One of her most me lines, she said, American Transit would be receiving a PhD from FHD from FO University, which, let's be real, was a not so subtle way of saying they messed with the wrong person. But here's the thing, critics are now wondering if her over-the-top defense is more than just a show of support. Could it be an attempt to deflect attention from her own potential involvement? Sunny's public anger has been matched by her legal team, which includes the high-profile attorney Mark Dagos. Yes, the same Mark is known for representing some of the biggest names, and celebrity SC Giragos has threatened to countersue American Transit for defamation, demanding millions in damages for what Sunny and her husband say is a campaign of harassment. But here's a little twist. American Transit isn't exactly backing down. They've doubled down on their accusations, alleging that Dr. Hostin participated in a systematic effort to exploit New York's no-fault insurance laws, which allow medical providers to bill insurers directly for services rendered to accident victims. And according to the lawsuit, some of those services were either unnecessary or grossly overbuilt.
Essentially saying that it's a money grab. And they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, $5 million.
Adding fuel to the fire are details from the lawsuit's 698-page complaint, which outlines specific instances of alleged fraud. For example, it claims that Dr. Hostin performed surgeries on patients involved in minor car accidents who had little to no injuries, billing American Transit for procedures that might not have been medically necessary. The company also alleges that Dr. Hostin received kickbacks disguised as dividends or cash distributions. Now, whether these claims hold up in court remains to be seen. But the sheer scale and specificity of the allegations have left many wondering if there's more to the story than Sunny wants us to believe.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia.
What's particularly striking about this situation is the way Sunny has positioned herself as a victim in all of this. She's repeatedly claimed that the lawsuit is a desperate attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance company to avoid paying its bills. She's also accused American Transit of targeting her family because of her public profile, saying they've plastered her family's photos all over table publications in an attempt to smear their reputation. But here's the kicker: some insiders are questioning whether Sunny's celebrity status might actually be complicating things further. After all, her high visibility makes it nearly impossible for this case to fly into the radar, and her outspoken responses have only drawn more attention. To the legal drama, and let's not forget the timing of all this. The lawsuit was filed just as Sunny was already facing backlash for her controversial remarks on The View. Coincidence maybe, but some can't help but wonder if the two issues are connected with Sunny's legal and personal challenges, feeding into the broader narrative of her being a polarizing and divisive figure. It's a perfect storm of controversy, and Sunny seems to be right at the eye of it. But hold on, because the plot thickens, there are now whispers that federal investigators might be looking into whether Sunny herself benefited from her husband's alleged activities. Could some of the funds from the supposed insurance fraud have made their way into their shared household? And if so, what does that mean for Sunny's future, both legally and professionally? It's a question that's hanging over her head like a dark cloud, and it's one that could have serious implications if these rumors turn out to have any merit.
Of Sunny Hostin on The View, Tom, basically implicating her husband in this type of a scheme.
What's clear is that this isn't just a legal fight, it's a PR nightmare and Sunny ever. The savvy media personality seems to be acutely aware of that her public statements have been carefully crafted to frame her family as the victims of a corrupt and failing insurance company. She's even drawn parallels between her husband's case and her issues in the healthcare system, accusing companies like American Transit of making it nearly impossible for doctors to get paid for their work. It's a smart tactic, no doubt, but one that hasn't entirely quelled the questions surrounding her own potential involvement.
But it's just, I mean, you're married, Tom, you're married. Your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to.
Meanwhile, the legal proceedings are shaping up to be a long and drawn-out affair. Experts have pointed out that civil cases like this, especially ones filed under federal racketeering laws, can take years to settle the discovery process alone, where both sides gather evidence and depose. Witnesses could drag on for months, if not longer, and with so many defendants involved, it's likely that the case will see multiple motions appeals and other legal maneuvers before it even gets close to a trial. For Sunny and her family, that means this cloud of suspicion isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And then there's the question of what all this means for Sunny's career. As a co-host of The View, she's built a reputation as a fearless and outspoken commentator, someone who isn't afraid to ruffle feathers. But this latest controversy has put her in an awkward position. On the one hand, she's trying to maintain her image as a champion of justice and equity. On the other, she's embroiled in a legal mess that could undermine her credibility and tarnish her brand. Some fans have already started to question whether she can continue to speak about ethics and accountability, while her husband, and possibly she herself, is facing serious allegations.
Now, he's just accused, and this accused in a lawsuit after some time of investigation could ultimately become a federal indictment. That's the...
And let's not forget the producers of The View, who are undoubtedly watching this situation unfold with growing concern. The show thrives on controversy, sure, but there's a fine line between being provocative and being toxic if Sunny's legal troubles continue to escalate. It's not hard to imagine that her position on the show could be in jeopardy. After all, there's only so much baggage a daytime talk show can handle before it starts to impact ratings and advertiser relationships. So where does this leave Sunny Hostin at this point? It's anyone's guess. The legal battle is just beginning, and the rumors about her potential involvement are far from going away for now. She seems determined to fight back both in the courtroom and in the court of public opinion. But as the saying goes, the truth always comes out in the end, and when it does, it could either vindicate Sunny and her family or unravel everything she's worked so hard to build. What do you think? Is Sunny Hostin just a supportive wife caught up in an unfortunate situation? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Could her outspoken defense of her husband be a genuine show of loyalty? Or is it a calculated attempt to distract from her own potential involvement? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to stay tuned for latest updates on this unfolding story. Until next time.